Hi, this is Jay Kirschner on Friday, December 8th, recording my athlete case study for Bio 311 Sports Nutrition. The agenda for the presentation is below. We're going to go through the day in the life of a training, totally daily energy expenditure, athlete's daily diet, hydration requirements, recommended diet, post-workout recovery, and areas of improvement. So my athlete is Tyler Davis. He's 21-year-old male, studies at the University of Michigan, and he's on their Olympic weightlifting team. His weight is 100 kilograms or 220 pounds. His body fat assumption is 15%. He didn't have access to a bioimpedance scale or a DEXA scan, so we're assuming that's where he's at, which gives him a BMI of 31.6. An average day in the life of Tyler's training. He trains about 5 days a week. Usually his sessions start in the afternoon, sometime between 4 and 7, and they last 2 to 2.5 hours. He gets programming done by a coach that's on site. Usually starts with a slight cardio warm-up, maybe on a assault bike or rowing machine, does some mobility work, some dynamic stretching, and then the majority of his training time is really centered around practicing either the snatch or the clean and jerk and the related movements around those. His focus is really on building strength and improving his form and execution. And then at the end of training, he concludes with accessory work and more soft tissue foam rolling. Tyler's daily energy expenditure is calculated by his age, weight, activity level. Like I said before, we don't have a fat-free measurement, so we're assuming 15%. And based on this formula, his BMR would be 3825. Average calorie burn during training would be another 500 calories, so a total of 4325 kilocalories per day. And I did recommend to him to get a measurement for his body fat, either through a bioimpedance scale or through a DEXA scan if possible. The athlete's daily diet and nutrition preferences is really not well balanced to meet his nutritional needs. He's not getting enough protein, and his protein intake is not timed appropriately. And he's definitely consuming more fat and less carbs than is required to optimize his body comp and training goals. He has preferences around eggs, popcorn, pastas, and I'm suggesting that he augment those foods with more high-quality proteins and a variety of whole foods and carbs. For hydration, Tyler doesn't really expend a lot of heavy cardio work, so he isn't sweating really hard during his training sessions and losing a lot of fluids. So the recommendation here is drink plenty of water, maybe add some electrolyte powder during and post-workout to ensure he's getting enough sodium and potassium. In terms of his recommended daily diet, we did some calculations for his macro targets, and I'm proposing 20% of his calories from protein, 60% from carbs, and 20% from fat. And that breaks down to about 216 grams of protein per day, 649 carbs, and about 100 grams in fats. And I enclosed a picture here of some examples of some lean meats, fish, eggs, tofu, lentils, which would be great protein sources for him. Carb suggestions would include whole grains like rice, beans, pasta, quinoa, bulgur, fresh fruits and vegetables, and really suggest that he aim for a healthy fat consumption, including avocados, olive oil, and salmon. In terms of post-workout recovery, really suggesting within 30 minutes that he eat up to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight of carbs, which would ideally include fast-acting mono and disaccharides with some protein. So bagels and fresh fruit like apples and bananas would be excellent carb choices. And then the chart below to the right has some other examples of proteins and carbs that would be recommended post-workout. In terms of areas of improvement, I really suggest that he use some kind of mobile app to track his meals and macros. Also suggest that he consume about 25 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up, and then every 3 to 4 hours. I think it would be beneficial for him to look at getting some casein protein shake, would be a good option before he goes to sleep. I also suggest he consult with his coach or nutritionist around his diet and, verify the information I'm providing, and work with them to come up with a plan. Suggest he eat a wide variety of healthy whole foods and really experiment with different foods to find the ones that he likes to eat and that are good for him and that he can digest effectively. I also suggest he test some fast digesting simple sugars prior to his heavy lifts to see what might work best prior to competition. It also suggests he might look at getting some creatine supplement to increase his muscle hypertrophy and really minimize his processed food consumption. So those are the areas I see various opportunity for Tyler to improve his fitness journey and hopefully increase his healthiness and athletic performance. Thanks very much.